Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH BaHashem, YAHAWASHI BaHashem, Rakwak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to mighty Akim Wakwathium, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakau coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, I want to go into Jonah chapter 1 verse 7. And they said, everyone to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. So over here, today's lesson is going to be about casting lots and what that means, basically. And basically, Slakia, the thing is playing. Basically, the thing with this, it's kind of like the best way I can say it, which I'm gonna read it on Google AI. It's basically like you're trying to find what like guidance from Yahawadah through. I don't know. Let me fuck it. Let's read. Let's just read it. Okay. So casting lots from AI overview, Google AI overview. It says casting lots is an ancient method of making impartial decisions or determining divine will by using random objects like sticks, stones, or marked pottery that are thrown or drawn. Similar to flipping a coin or drawing straws, it was believed that while the mechanisms was random, Yahweh controlled the outcome to reveal his purpose. So that was basically what they did, and this makes sense because you're over here thinking about it like this. What's it called? I'm trying to think. You can't. Yahawadah does not speak to us directly. All right. So as a result of him not speaking to us directly, how it's kind of like Yahawadah flip a coin. I'm flipping a coin. On heads I go left. On tails I go right and whatnot. That's basically how people would determine the guidance of Yahawadah. So as a result of that, that was also what we had in this example in Jonah chapter 1 verse 7. Now, in addition to that, just so you know that this is definitely a practice that the Israelites did, I also want to get this because I just want to make sure that there's no loss in translation. Acts chapter 1 verse 26. And they gave forth their lots, and the lots fell upon Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles. So basically, Matthias was replacing Judas because Judas killed himself after betraying Yahawadah. So as a result of that, that was basically what had happened. And even with the disciples, the 12 apostles, all right, 11 Slakia, they had also casted lots. So and the thing is, you have to understand that if this was some sort of divination or something like that, would the apostles have done it? All right. So as a result of that, yes, this is something that the Israelites had done in order to kind of get an understanding of what's going on, how things are working. Yahawadah guide me and stuff like that, because before they had Yahawadah actively telling them what's this, or how do we handle this, or what's a correct answer to this, or whatever and stuff like that. They used to have that, but after Yahawadah died, came back and then left for good, then they had to actually attempt to use all the teachings that they got from Yahawadah to actually deal with Yahweh and get guidance from him on their own without Yahawadah holding their hand and whatnot. So because of their prolonged exposure to Yahawashi and learning from him directly, that's where they got this, and they said, okay, you know what, this is not for us, or it's not a matter of, oh yeah, well, we like this guy, John or whatever, so we're gonna get John because he's a good person. They disqualified their opinion or even voting on things altogether, and then they just decided, okay, let's let Yahawadah decide for us. All right. So with that in mind, Matthew chapter 6 verse 10, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. And that this is basically the thing where when it comes to Yahawadah, yes, the Lord's will is done in earth as it is in heaven. And what's the word? When for stuff like this, yes, this is how things go, because it's a matter of, and Slakia, if I struggle trying to verbalize it, I'm trying my best to, because I understand that people might think, oh, this is divination and stuff like that. Well, that's not really divination. It's more so, Slakia, I'm trying to think of the proper terms. It's more so like, say, for example, you see again, let's go back to the coin flip example. So there's a coin flip, and then there's a fork in the road where there's left and the right. Both of them look seemingly the same, and you don't know which way to go. You basically flip a coin, and then the heads represents left, tails represents right, and stuff like that. And basically, it's through that you ask Yahawadah, oh, which way do I go, rather than saying, you know what, I think I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over here and stuff like that. Right? Because the thing about that is that you're directly asking for guidance. Which actually, let's get that precept as well over here. James chapter 1 verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. And once again, the Lord is freely giving, the wisdom. He's freely giving the guidance of you should do this, you should do that, and whatnot. But you also have to understand that you have to actually, it's like you have to actually listen. Are you actually going to listen? Because even then, when it comes to let's say, for example, going back to the coin flip two paths direction, let's say that the right path was dark and scary, and it looks like some dark alley that you're gonna get mugged in, and the left side was filled with sunshine and stuff like that, and you flip the coin, and then it lands on tails, and it says, as signifying that Yahawadah is telling you to go down the scary path and whatnot. It's simply because you're not going based off of your wisdom, your knowledge, your own mind or whatever. You're going based off of what Yahawadah is telling you to do, because Yahawadah knows which path is safe despite appearances. So then, let's again in this hypothetical two-path situation, if the thing landed on tails and you're supposed to go, and Yahawadah has told you to go through the scary path, but yet you say, okay, you know what, this path looks good. I know Yahawadah told me to go on the scary path, but this path looks safer, so I'm just going to ignore Yahawadah and go through it anyway. And as a result of that, some fucking beast or whatever a bear, all right, pops up and then just mauls you while you're going through the nicer looking path, but yet in the scary path, there was nothing there because not magically, what's it called? Coincidentally, because everyone is afraid of taking that path because of how it looks. There is literally no life there. There's no person there, and whatnot. So you should have gone through the scary path because it was uninhabited because of the thing, and that's basically a part of the the lesson where we can't let me Slock it, let me get this. All right. Over here in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. You might think, okay, well, light means nice, dark means bad and whatnot. You might think that in your mind and have that association, but it's important that you stick to ultimately stick to the guidance of Yahawadah, because again, as I said before, like there's definitely going to be some reasoning behind it, although you might not see, because let's say, for example, you did the coin flip, you didn't know about the bear or whatever on the light side, okay, in the hypothetical situation that I brought up, and you took the dark side, the scary looking path anyway, just trusting it. So as you're going, you're safe, obviously, but you're over here, watching, looking over your shoulder, being scared and all this stuff like that. Looking over your shoulder, being scared and all that stuff like that, while you are objectively safe, but you're thinking like, oh man, why didn't I just go take the other side or stuff like that? Like both sides, the other side seemed to be nicer and stuff like that. But even though you were scared while you're taking the objectively safe side with no one or nothing there, you're protected. Like everything, the Lord is making it so that you're good, you're taken care of, regardless of how it looks. All right. So, but yet again, that goes back into faith. All right. Which even then, additionally, all right, not just faith, but it also goes back into the whole casting the lots thing and seeking the guidance from Yahawadah, which this was the practice that the Israelites did when they needed guidance in certain situations. All right, as we saw with Jonah over here, Jonah 1:7, and Acts chapter 1 verse 26, where even the disciples of Yahawashi had done it. Okay, so continuing on, 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 8, for we can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. And again, this is the will of Yahawadah. So of course things are going to go the way he plans it. So of course he's going to allow whatever is happening to be the proper way. And if the Lord needs you to go through that dark path or even through the light path, okay, whichever, then the Lord's going to make it. And hell, for people that see that, then maybe that's just judgment. So if someone is going over there and sees, oh hey, this is a light path, I'm just gonna go over there and whatever, the Lord made it that way so that it could be enticing to judge whomever he needs to judge. All right. So now Romans 8 verse 28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are the called according to his purpose. And again, and with this, Slaki, to conclude with this, all things work good. All things work good, and we are seeing we see the good. We see the good. We might not see the bad always, as long as we are obedient. So with that, I pray this was edifying. Slaki, I mean, hold on. I want to clarify right quick. It says, and Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh. So the things that we follow through with, like if you take the bad side, then that means like, okay, yeah, you see that I made it home, I got through that bad side, I got through that scary thing, the Lord protected me, call him like Yahawadah, and as a result of your obedience, then you're taken care of. Whereas if you had asked and then went contrary to what the Lord said, then of course that would end up in, your judgment. Sometimes that's basically how things go. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Shem, YAHAWASHI, Shem, Rakwakwadah, double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone of Bible and Shalom.